want to provide a bit of an update for you on the status of the storm and our efforts to respond to it. Northern Illinois and Northwest Indiana sustained a tremendous amount of rainfall over the last 2 days, and this has brought on some difficult situations for a lot of people. At the outset, I just want to say that our hearts go out to the families and the victims of the terrorist bombings in Boston. As we struggle with our situation here, we want to be mindful of those folks who are dealing with something that's far more significant in many ways than what we're dealing with. And in fact, there's areas of Northern Illinois and even Northwest Indiana that sustained worse flooding damage than we did. And so, again, our hearts go out to all of those folks as well, those homeowners, business owners, as well as those who are responding to those situations. Here, the river crested at 15.27 feet. Major overbank flooding would have occurred if it would have reached the level of 17 feet. We did activate our emergency response plan early yesterday morning. Our leadership team has been actively monitoring and responding to this situation ever since. Only a handful of our streets required closures. All of those streets have now been reopened. Fortunately, we had no reported accidents or injuries reported as a result of the storms or the flooding. We've had Public Works crews out working 24 hours a day, ensuring that lift stations and sewers remain operational. Unfortunately, we had some water main breaks in the midst of all of this, and so that taxed our manpower resources, but we were able to get those under control as well. There have been some rumors about there being valves or locks that were not opened or were closed, and that somehow exacerbated the situation, the flooding in certain areas. Those are inaccurate. There are no such valves or locks to be opened or closed. It's just that when God decides to send this much rain, the system just simply can't handle it. Whether that system is here or somewhere in the northwest suburbs, as we saw, the systems just get overwhelmed. Want to provide a little bit of direction regarding the cleaning out of basements, which is what many folks are dealing with right now. Residents can put their items at the curb for their regular scheduled garbage pickup. Our contractor, Homewood Disposal, normally permits one large item to be put out with your garbage pickup each week, a large item being a piece of furniture or a large roll of carpet. They're being generous in this situation and permitting a couple of large items. Carpet should be rolled up into 4-foot lengths and tied up to make it manageable for those folks to dispose of it. If residents do not wish to wait for their regularly scheduled pickup, then they can call Homewood Disposal or the Public Works Department to request a special pickup. Just be mindful that there is a charge for that service. We also want to caution residents about entering basements where there is standing water. There's certainly the risk there of electric shock, and so we want to encourage folks who are facing that sort of a situation to call a professional plumber or an electrician before entering that standing water. We've not had a lot of this, but there's been a few automobiles that sustained flooding from those that were parked on the streets that had to be closed. For that, folks obviously will need to contact their auto insurance policy, their carrier. Similarly, for flooded basements, there's often a misconception that somehow that involves the municipality. That's actually not correct. So either your homeowner's policy or your renter's policy, you'll need to contact those folks. There are sewer backup riders that residents can purchase as a part of their homeowner's policy, which we always encourage our residents to purchase. So hopefully folks have those. If you do, you'll want to take photos of the damage that you have, preferably before you clean things up, so you can have evidence of the items that were damaged as a result of the basement backup. The insurance company typically does not require you to wait to begin cleaning up until they send out an adjuster, so that's the point of taking those photographs. If you don't have that sewer backup rider, then it's unlikely that your insurance coverage will cover that. Unfortunately, there's some insurance companies that don't want to inform their clients that their policy doesn't cover sewer backup, so they've been telling residents to call the village hall, and obviously that's not going to be helpful to those homeowners. They just don't want to be the ones to deliver the bad news. But you should look at your own individual insurance policy. We do appreciate the community's support and their cooperation with our street closures and their patience throughout the entire process of responding to the storm. Our crews have done an amazing job of responding to the incident, and we certainly want to express our gratitude to them as well. And finally, let me just say we do have our annual cleanup day coming up next Saturday. That's the 27th. There's obviously a lot to clean up. So for those who will not be contending with the need to clean up their flooded basements, we would encourage those folks to register at the village website or by calling Village Hall and participate in that cleanup effort. And we will have additional updates for you as the need arises. Thank you.